Look up. No more running from the bad guy. I'ma stare him in the eye like, what's up?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another wonderful day of My Story, My Strength 365-day challenge. I made it a little bit earlier today, you guys. I've been running late, but I've been still showing up. I just had to make, we have to make it do what it do. So just as a trigger warning, this episode contains real accounts of emotional abuse, grief, disrespect towards deceased and to children, inappropriate comments about infant death, and betrayal by loved ones. It includes deep reflections on unresolved grief, gaslighting, family toxicity, and generational trauma. If you lost a child or have been dehumanized during moments of deep grief or vulnerability, please proceed with caution. You're allowed to pause. You're allowed to protect your peace. You're allowed to leave. You're allowed to stop. You're allowed to walk away. You're allowed to do whatever resonates, fixing my camera, with you. This space is sacred and your heart is valid. So today I'm going to talk about something that still bothers me to this day. I've healed, I've grown, I've done the work. But when someone says something cruel, especially after you've buried your child, it's not something that just fades away. And when this happened, this was after my husband and I left his hometown. I couldn't deal with the drama and the bullying of his family anymore. It was suffocating me. So we moved to Texas, where I had my family there. It was my sister and my mother. They kind of convinced us that relocating there would be a better option, since his family clearly didn't support our relationship. And honestly, I agreed with them. We both actually agreed with them. And, my kids, they love their aunt. They love their cousins. They love their Nana too. But, they really wanted to be closer to family that they knew. And at first, things were going well. We both had a solid job. My husband had a good position at a well-known company. And I can't tell you the name for legal reasons. And I was working for the state or working as a case manager. But we were, at the end of the day, we were doing well. My kids had their own places. They were roommating together at this time. My daughter had a good job. My son was in the military. Like, everything was going well. We weren't perfect. We weren't as happy as we could have been, but we were surviving and we were doing better. The biggest issue, my husband was still really too dependent on his family. He was still hung up on what they thought, still letting them dictate how he moved through life. And his uncle was he was especially toxic. He was toxic with a smile on his face, you guys. He made you think that he loved you, but he disrespected me repeatedly, and even in front of my children. He said things that were inappropriate, sexist, and just plain ignorant. And my husband never stood up to him for us. So this day started like any other. My husband's on the phone with his uncle. It was an okay conversation because he didn't always attack, but it was a decent conversation at first. But his uncle, he wanted us to move back to Missouri. My husband and I didn't want to. My children didn't want to. We didn't really want to go back to that place. So we had just become grandparents. Our granddaughter was only about 2 months old. Our son, he was still in AIT because this was in 2020. About May or June of 2020, he couldn't leave the base because COVID was not allowing them to leave. So he was stuck on base longer than he was supposed to. We had our grandbaby, but the world was frozen. And we were just trying to keep our peace, because it was really fragile at that time. We didn't know what was going on. So let me be clear. Our granddaughter's mother, she doesn't really have a bond with her. She never really wanted children. And our granddaughter, she cried constantly. She was really aggressive with her daughter at first, or either that, or she would just hand her off to our daughter or to us, because she didn't really want to be bothered. And we were scared that if we left her alone with the baby, that something could happen, not intentionally, but babies are who are shaken. I don't believe that all parents want to hurt their children when accidents happen. So my husband told him, we can't leave Texas because my daughter lives with my son and his daughter's mom. They were together at the time. And he was like, no, bring my niece here. I love the kids. Bring the kids. Let the baby die. Go ahead. Let the baby die. She'll go to heaven. And then my heart just stopped. Like, what? I was pissed. I was shocked. I was horrified. I was disgusted, but I didn't react. I was waiting for my husband to say something. Just say something to defend us. But he didn't. He kind of chuckled when he tried to correct it. He laughed just slightly and, said to his uncle, that's not funny. And there was no real anger behind it, no protection, no loyalty, just kind of pushing it to the side. So for about 2 weeks, we argued. I cried, I screamed, I explained how this was wrong to wish death on an innocent baby, even, though he was supposedly joking about letting a baby die, that's disgusting and it's evil. And the most painful part, that it only been a few years since I lost my son, so like, why would you joke about something like that? And his uncle knew that. He knew that. And he still didn't protect, my husband still didn't protect my pain. He didn't defend the baby immediately. He didn't defend me immediately. But eventually he called his uncle, because he blocked his uncle when he finally called his uncle and admitted that, hey, you were wrong. Don't say this, whatever. But I still wonder to this day, did he only say that because I told him to shut me up, or did he really mean that? So that bothered me. I'm going to identify the wound. That moment did something to me, to my spirit, that I can't really explain. It wasn't just about the words. It was about the silence from the one who should have spoke up. So it wasn't just about his uncle saying that shit. It was about my husband not saying shit after. It's like, what the hell? It made me feel my grief, like my grief didn't matter, like my pain was inconvenient, and that my role as a mother and a grandmother, both to my living children and to my grandchild and to my lost son, was a joke to them. And I started to feel invisible, like the people who claimed to love me didn't see me or mine as worthy of defending. Like I was overreacting for being furious about something, about someone suggesting something like that, like an innocent baby should die. Like, you don't play like that. You don't play about death with anyone, but especially an innocent baby. And then, like, my son's death had become like a footnote that they can laugh about. Like, it's not a fucking joke. Like, seriously. So I questioned my worth as his woman and as a mother and as a grandmother. I felt like I had to carry everyone's morality on my shoulders. Like, that's wrong. You shouldn't say that. But really, because no one else had a backbone to say that shit is not okay. My kids didn't know at the time. So, and I began to believe that maybe it was just too much. Maybe no one will ever honor the weight that I do actually carry. So I have a reflection question for you. Have you ever been the only one in the room to feel something deeply is wrong and no one else has ever acknowledged it? Like, have you ever heard someone make an inappropriate joke or say something that's inappropriate and you're the only one that's like, this shit is not right, but you're sitting here watching and no one else acknowledges? And what truth did you carry alone because silence felt safer than standing against the others? So that's my reflection question to you. So my negative mindset is I'm the only one who cares. And this isn't including my children. This is just like me. I'm the only one who cares. No one will ever stand up for me. And my pain is always invisible. But I had to reframe that. I had to reframe that thought. Because when people fail to protect you, it doesn't mean that you're unworthy of protection. It doesn't. It means that their cowardice is louder than your truth. That's them. You weren't too much. They were just too small to handle what was right. So how I had to reframe that was, I'm not hard to love. I'm just not tolerating easy silence anymore. I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. And the affirmation that I have for that is, I am worthy of defense. Even when others lack the courage to speak up, my grief is sacred. My voice is enough, and my voice will be enough because I will speak up. I will no longer allow people to say things that they shouldn't, and just out of respect for someone who is allowing me to be disrespected, just to say nothing. That shit will never happen again. So if someone has the courage to say something to me disrespectful, then I will have the courage to use my voice to speak up and defend myself. I don't need anyone to defend me or my children, because I get down, I can defend them myself and my grandchild. So the coping tool that I want to share with you guys today is the boundary breath. This is a practice. Practice this when there is silence, when their silence is a weapon. So this practice is for someone whose silence cuts deeper than the words ever could. So you got to sit upright, inhale slowly through your nose for about 5 seconds. And as you inhale, say in your mind, I am not invisible. Hold that breath for 4 seconds. Visualize a boundary forming around you, like a gold line or wall of protection. And then you exhale for 7 seconds through your mouth. And as you release, say in your mind, your silence is not my shame. And you repeat this exercise 3 times with your eyes closed. Each time you make that boundary thicker and stronger. You are building your safety from the inside out. That's what this is, helping you build that safety from the inside. No permission needed, just build that safety. Okay. So I have my 1-minute empowerment challenge for you guys. And this challenge is speak the unspoken, write the response they never gave you. So this is another writing exercise. Okay. So today I want you to write one paragraph, not a sentence, a paragraph that is a rebuttal to the silence that hurt you the most. So challenging the silence that hurt you the most. Not to send it, but to take back your power. Say everything that you wish that someone had said to the person who failed you. Say what you deserved to hear. Say what should have been said the moment that comment was made, or those words, or whatever was said. Then read it out loud to yourself. This is you not waiting on validation. This is you creating your own. And you're declaring, I will not be quiet just because they were quiet. Okay, that's what you have. That's what this challenge is about, is to learn how to give yourself validation and not wait on it. So today we're at our spotlight, Survivor Spotlight. You guys know this is my favorite part of the this show. So today I want to spotlight this. I want to shine a the brightest spotlight to the fiercest people I know, and that's my children. Not because they are victims, but because they are the most powerful survivors I've ever known. From birth, they were met with struggle and instability, with trauma, but they never let it harden them. They grew up under the shadow of abuse, with a father who caused chaos in a home that wasn't always peaceful, and situations that no child should ever be exposed to. But they still smiled, they still loved, and they still believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. They never judged me. They grew with me. When I went back to school, they were proud of me. When I graduated during COVID, they made me feel like I walked away, like I walked on that damn stage, like you did it. They were so proud of me. They have always been my biggest cheerleaders. They comforted me through my grief, through the loss, through heartbreak, and never once have they used that pain against me. When they lost their brother, instead of shutting down, they kept loving. And it was not easy. It was hard. They kept loving me. They have been emotionally abused by others and still chose forgiveness. They followed me across the world to protect me and to protect my peace. They are the bravest people I know. They are bold, they are kind, and they are more than survivors. They are the reason I survived. So to my babies, oh my God, I don't want to cry. Thank you for holding together. Jesus, what is wrong with me? Thank you for holding me together when I was falling apart. You need to be here now holding me together because I'm about to fall apart. Thank you for holding me together when I was falling apart. Thank you for seeing me when I was invisible to others. And thank you for giving me a reason to be, even before I knew that I needed to be anyone. I love you all so much. All three of you. I am proud of you, and I am so, so honored to be your mom. Mwah. So some people will never acknowledge the weight of your pain because they've never had the courage to carry that on their own. But you held grief, you protected life, and you stood in the fire without flinching, and that makes you all unshakable. So thank you so much for tuning in today. If the story reached any of you, please like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel, because it's just going to get better from there. This is the second month. We still have 11 months and some change to go for this challenge, and it's going to get better and better. And just subscribe to Empowered Voices of Finding Strength and Survivor so that you can grow with me, learn with me. Oh, my baby finally got, this is my daughter, and this is my son. Oh, look at my babies. I know she loves me because she said she would never get on this live with me. Oh, thank you guys.
You almost made me cry, bro.
So just subscribe. You get to see my babies. Your story did not end in pain. It does begin in power. So I will see you all tomorrow after another powerful healing story. I love you all. Please stay strong.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. No more running from the bad guy. I'ma stare him in the eye like, what's up? I know the journey got hard for a minute, but I ain't giving this up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked